I give up. Wait, not the type of giving up you're thinking. I'm not giving up on becoming a better version of myself. Neither am I giving up on becoming a better creator. And neither am I giving up on my habits rituals. But I give up. I'm giving up on trying to give up on myself. Yeah, that is something. So in this week's episode, that's what you're going to be finding out. How I gave up on trying to give up my YouTube channel. So before I make the proper introduction, I want to say that I'm sorry for not posting last week. Due to some unforeseen circumstances, we were not able to post. But now we are back and better. So hello there. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, you're welcome. My name is EuniceJournal, and on here is where I drop videos on the things that I'm doing on becoming a better version of myself and things that I experienced while becoming a better version of myself. So if you have not subscribed to this channel, this is the best time to do that. Kindly click on the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so that you'll be the first to know when I drop a video every week. So that being said, let's dive right into the gist for this week. So I said I give up on trying to give up on myself, and I know you might not understand what I mean, but hold on for me, I will explain what that means. So, for the past 2 weeks, I've just been having the urge, the thought, the feeling, the temptation, the trials on giving up on myself. If anybody, any human being that is on their way to becoming better, on their way to becoming a better version of themselves, go through these particular things that I've been going through, and they go through this particular feeling and thoughts and emotions and all of that, and they give up on becoming a better version of themselves, believe you me, I will never judge them. I will never judge them because it was overwhelming. The feeling was as if I was forcing myself to do things. The feeling was as if I'm putting myself under unnecessary pressure. Coupled with the whole thing that was happening in my environment, from my phone to my health to everything. I will explain in details. You understand better. It was really intense. So that is what you'll be finding out in this video. Okay? So you remember 2 weeks ago when I said that I was mentally exhausted from the things that I was doing on becoming a better version of myself. That was listening to podcasts. If you watch my last 2 weeks video, you would definitely see it there. So it all started from mental exhaustion. I became exhausted of the process of becoming a better person, the learning processes, the sacrifices I have to make to becoming a better person. That was where it started from. I then thought that maybe taking a break was going to fix it, but that was not it. A break was not fixing anything. That mental exhaustion happened to be that it was something that was speaking to me to give up, to stop, to stop. Like I kept hearing that thing in my head. Just give up. Just forget about this thing, but I kept suppressing it. So when I did not listen, I was still trying to push myself. I was still trying to do the things that I normally do on my rituals. That's listening to podcasts, taking my tea, taking water, and all of that. I was still trying my best to do all of that. Then physical exhaustion that came in. When I mean physical exhaustion, I became sick. That's the word to use. So I came down with malaria, and while I was sick, I was tired. It was not like it's the perfect excuse to slip into the to continue being in the mental exhaustion that I was into. While being physically sick, I became emotionally overwhelmed. I became emotionally down. So let's say that all this LLY that you know, emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, spiritually, I became so exhausted. I became tired. The environment was contributing things. It was like as if the universe was giving me signs to give up. Like there was something that I picked from all those things I was going through. I decided to see it as a phase. My conscience kept telling me that giving up is not an option. This is a particular phase, and this phase is going to pass. By the time the phase passes and I have given up, what will become of the me that will be in that era when this phase will pass? That was a question that kept me. That was a question my conscience was bringing to my mind. If all these things now, my phone become better, my health becomes stable, my mental health becomes stable, because you know that there are some things that add to mental instability or mental exhaustion. When you don't have money, it can lead to mental exhaustion. When you don't have the basic necessities that you need for yourself as a human being, adds to mental exhaustion. So I think that was what added to mine, and how I felt people were treating me were also the reason I became emotionally overwhelmed. So in all of these things, I just had that particular question. I said, if all these things were to become better, if I were to have the money that I wanted now, if this sickness should disappear now, if this I stop listening to the voice of these people, if they stop talking about all of this that they are doing, if they stop treating me in this manner, what will become of the me that would believe in that era if I give up on myself? So, since I could not answer this question directly, then I knew that I could not give up on myself. I knew that I cannot stop practicing the habits that I used to practice, that I'm still practicing. I knew that I cannot stop listening to podcasts. I knew that I cannot just stop being consistent, because it was not an option. Giving up was not an option for me. First, it was my phone that was misbehaving. Second, I couldn't export my video from my friend's phone. Actually made a video last week, but then I couldn't export the video from my friend's phone to the laptop. I tried all I could. It was as if it was not going to work. Then I just gave up on it. Then, thirdly, my health was not stable. Fourthly, I didn't have the money that I wanted. Yeah, you can decide to think whatever you want. As a responsible adult that I am, things were not just moving the way I wanted it to move, and all of that contributed to being unstable, being unhappy, because you cannot be sad and still say you want to become a better person. That's the normal logic. But for me now, this person that I am now, I can be sad and still say I have to become a better person. I can be sad and still say I'm not going to give up on myself. So I had to find a solution to all those feelings I was having. I had to find a solution to feeling overwhelmed. I have to find a solution to manage the things that were happening to me, and the things that I'm doing on becoming a better person. I had to find a balance to it. So I'm not saying that it stopped. No, it did not stop. The feelings did not stop. Although I became well, yeah, thank God I became well. But then the feelings did not stop. People did not stop trying to poke me. So, but then I had to find a balance to it. And that balance, I'll be talking about it. So, because I have a working conscience that was beating me constantly and reminding me that giving up wasn't an option, I came up with a plan. And in the midst of those chaotic feelings and those things that were happening around me, the plan was to stop and start again. And that is what I actually did. I did stop and started all over again. So in my mind, I was like, if it was going to take me 100 times to stop and start again to get to the place where I want to get to, I will do it. I would actually stop and start again, because slow growth is still growth. As far there is a movement from this place to this place, it doesn't matter how long it takes me to get from here to here. As far there is a movement, giving up wasn't an option. So I would just start again. So let's say I used to celebrate 50 minutes of prayer, 1 hour of prayer, and all of that. But then starting over again took me back to praying for 15 to 20 minutes to 25 minutes. And I still celebrated. That was where I started from. At least I was able to pray. At least I did not stop praying. At least I didn't give up on my prayer life, on my spiritual life. That is what mattered to me. Normally, I would have had that feeling that, oh, you that you're already praying for 1 hour, now you're praying for 15 minutes and you're happy. That would have been the normal feeling. But then, as someone who is serious on becoming a better person, Praying for 15 minutes to 25 minutes is an achievement. It is an achievement for me. So I used to celebrate that. I would listen to podcasts 6 times in a week. Sometimes I even listen to 2 podcasts in a day. Since I became tired of it, now listening to podcasts 3 to 4 times in a week is an achievement for me because that was where I started from. That was the feeling I had when I started building habits. Now I will say I used to celebrate taking warm water or tea for like 5 times or 4 times in a week. If I take it 2 or 3 times in a week now, I am grateful. I am happy that I did not skip my tea intake at all. I have become more intentional about it. That is what intentionality is. Me not giving up and me realizing that if I give up, I cannot become the person I want to be. So it is better I start from the baby steps again. That has made me understand that starting again is not failure. Like I mentioned before, slow growth is still growth. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Use me as an example. Slow growth is still growth. If you have stopped whatever you were doing to achieve that dream that you had before, you can start again. You can start afresh. You can take the baby steps again. When we all started learning how to walk when we were babies, when we fall down, do we give up? No. We stand up and we continue our journey on learning how to walk. That is how progress is for me. And that is how it should be for you too. If you fall, if you get tired, still pick up yourself and walk because life does not give anyone the opportunity to give up. If you give up today and you're happy about the fact that you give up today, I'm sure somehow the universe will remind you later that you gave up, that you would have been somewhere, but you decided to give up. So, this is not to discourage anyone that is feeling overwhelmed on the things that they are doing, be it business, be it the things that you are doing to become a better person. This is not to discourage anyone because I have experienced it. Rather, I'm trying to encourage you to start all over again. When you're feeling overwhelmed, take a pause, start afresh. The feeling of starting afresh is exciting. So, because of that excitement, you wouldn't want to drop it. It is okay to be overwhelmed. It is okay to feel exhausted. It is okay to feel pain. It is okay to go through life feeling like you're alone. It is okay to have all of those feelings. But what is not okay is giving up. Since I did not give up, you cannot give up. I will not allow you to give up. So if you have watched the video to this point, it definitely means that you like what I'm doing. You want to support this thing that I'm doing. And the way you can do it is by subscribing to this YouTube channel and liking and commenting on this video. Then click on the share button and share it with people around you so that I can feel more encouraged in doing this particular thing. So if you have not subscribed, kindly click on the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so that you'll be the first to know when I drop a video every week. So that being said, we have come to the end of this week's episode of EuniceJournal. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did while creating it. So, Jesus keep us alive. See you next week. Bye-bye.